Footage from 1995 between Kamala Harris and Willie Brown has recently resurfaced. Kamala Harris was caught plagiarizing this just moments before the first and potentially only presidential debate, and Eric Swalwell had a meltdown in Congress. We're going to get to all of that and much more in today's video, but first we turn to Pennsylvania, where the first presidential debate is about to begin.
So, all right, ABC's just put out a picture, so we just got it of inside. I know you know the Constitutional Center really well. So they're putting, this is the stage. I mean, we're a little blinded where we're sitting, but the podium's here. Harris is going to be on the right. So
yeah, it's close. It's interesting. You know, it'll be, again, you know.
Okay, did you catch that? The podium on the right is a little smaller than the podium on screen left. You're not making this up. I'm not making this up. You can see the height difference right there. This was done intentionally by ABC. This has been confirmed by Axios. According to Axios, Harris to have a shorter debate podium than Trump's. Vice President Harris will have a shorter podium than Donald Trump during Tuesday night's debate. A person familiar with the matter told Axios, an ABC News video revealed. Why does this matter? Well, Harris and Trump have one of the biggest height differences among presidential nominees in U.S. history. Trump is around 6'3", and Harris is around 5'4", and Harris's team doesn't want her appearing small in comparison to Trump. So what they're doing is this video technique called forced perspective. So in Lord of the Rings, the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, they did this forced perspective, right? Because they had actors playing the hobbits on the same set as Ian McKellen, who played Gandalf, who was taller than humans. So, you know, how did they make people appear small, and how did they make Ian McKellen appear so large? Well, it was how they placed them on set, and then also the sizing of the different props that they had on set. And as you see, the podium on the right is much smaller. So when they have these grand shots, that's going to be obvious. But when they do the split screen, it's going to make Kamala Harris and Donald Trump look like they're the exact same size. Now, according to Axios, driving the news, this is normal, and both campaigns were given visibility about the different podium sizes. A person familiar with the matter told Axios. First of all, I don't think that's normal, and I'm going to prove it to you here in a bit. A Trump campaign official mocked Harris for using a smaller platform, telling Axios that it looks like the kids' table at Thanksgiving, and of course, Harris's campaign did not comment, probably because they're too embarrassed by it. Now, the reason I have an issue with this is because this is a small way of sort of giving preferential treatment to one candidate, right? You would expect them, you know, have the exact same microphone. If they were sitting down, have the exact same chair. Well, if they're standing, shouldn't they have the exact same podium? Now, this isn't necessarily proof of preferential treatment, but we as the public and as voters have the right to be concerned. I mean, don't forget about Donna Brazile leaking questions, leaking the topics to Hillary Clinton's campaign when Clinton's campaign started faltering in 2015, 2016. And right now, Kamala Harris has had, you know, a slew of bad polling. First, it began with the New York Times poll. Now there's a Quinnipiac poll. Now PBS and Marist. I mean, so many polls coming out showing Kamala losing her traction. Again, this doesn't necessarily, you know, mean anything bad, but it is a sign somewhat of preferential treatment. And I do think it's fair for people, it doesn't matter if you're Republican or not, to be concerned about whether or not these questions have truly been kept secret and under wraps. We know that, you know, ABC has been preferential towards Kamala Harris as far as their coverage, and then obviously everything with Disney. Now, at the end of the day, visuals aren't everything. It's going to be about substance, right? Well, Adam Schiff is already lowering debate expectations for Kamala Harris. This is what he said when he appeared on MSNBC.
What do you think that background means for how she will approach a debate with Donald Trump tomorrow night?
Well, I think it means that she will be very quick on her feet. She will know the facts and be able to marshal the facts in support of her argument. I think the challenge for the vice president is really twofold. One, sometimes knowing the facts too well gets in the way of giving the broader vision, letting people get to know you, seeing the more human side of you. You are at risk of coming across with a laundry list of facts, and that's not really what people are looking for. But the other challenge is the bar for her is so much higher because the bar for Trump is so low.
So,
he's going to go.
did you catch that? First of all, he's saying, well, the challenge is hard for Kamala Harris because she's in such great control of the facts. She has the facts on her side, and that's going to be hard for her. And so he's lowering expectations for her in that way. And then on the second way, he's saying that the bar is so high. So, if she fails to meet that bar, if anything short of this just excellent and inspirational presentation, then she's fallen short of that. And therefore, both of these excuses, I think, are lowering the bar, lowering expectations, and you can see almost they're testing out these different defense lines. Now, I don't buy this whole thing about her being overprepared and overcooked like a chicken with the facts, because take a look. This is Kamala Harris at a summit. She's reading from a script, prepared, and it's still word salad. Prepared remarks. You watch her eyes, and you'll see her looking down at her notes.
I often note and have talked with many of you about our shared belief that our world is increasingly more interconnected and interdependent. That is especially true when it comes to the climate crisis, which is why we will work together and continue to work together to address these issues, to tackle these challenges, and to work together as we continue to work operating from the new norms, rules, and agreements that we will convene to work together on to galvanize global action.
Honestly, I'm a little surprised that work together isn't her 2024 campaign slogan. Now, okay, so as if all of that wasn't bad enough as far as the debate, Kamala Harris, right before, literally today, I think about 5 hours ago now, she's added a policy section to her website. Well, it turns out that she plagiarized this, copied and pasted this from Joe Biden's website. According to the New Republic, Kamala Harris can't keep running like this. She's been coasting on good vibes, but the honeymoon is over. Now she needs to lay out how her governing agenda differs from Biden's, and Tuesday's debate is the perfect place to do it. Now, in this article, it outlines how she hasn't diverged yet from Joe Biden, and in fact, literally copied and pasted his agenda on her website. So one of the things, I know I don't really get personal on the channel, so a lot of you guys know that I'm an actor and that's what I do for a living, but I obviously need to pay the bills, and one of the things I do, I have a digital marketing agency for web development, social media, SEO, and so I'm very familiar with websites. And when you, on the back, so you have what appears on the front end of the website, and then on the back end, we have what's called metadata, and that's what Google reads. That's what search engines read. Well, someone crawled the metadata on her website, and take a look at this. It has, you can see it highlighted in blue. Are you with us? Join our campaign to re-elect Joe Biden today. So not only is that proof that she literally copied and pasted it from Joe Biden's website, but it is just so incredibly lazy. Whenever you copy code from one platform to another, you always want to clean it up. And there's actually a way where you can copy and paste the code without copying the original code. I'm not going to go on that tangent. Even Fox News has covered this. Take a look.
A new chapter. That might be an empty promise, though, based on a look at the Harris campaign's new issues page on their website, because the New Republic decoded some of the computer coding on it and determined that large chunks of the Harris issue platform are just direct copy pastes from the Biden issues page.
And of course, that is really ironic and hypocritical, because Kamala Harris wants to portray herself as the agent of change. She wants to present herself as the future. Meanwhile, she keeps tethering herself to Joe Biden, literally copying and pasting his ideas, his policies, his agenda, and using that on her own website. She is not of the future. She is of the present and of the past. And speaking of the past, we now have newly unearthed footage from an ABC News coverage. Ironic, because ABC is hosting tonight's presidential debate, covering Willie Brown and Kamala Harris.
He's a rogue, all right, notorious for his flamboyant lifestyle. Flashy clothes, fancy parties, fine women,
Are you his daughter? No, I'm not.
and fast cars.
You should from now on address me as the mayor.
If ever a man and a municipality were made for each other, it is this man.
So personally, I hope that Donald Trump does not bring up Willie Brown, with the exception of one situation, one scenario. If Kamala Harris and ABC bring up Donald Trump's sex life, then if his sex life is fair game, then so is Kamala Harris's. You know, they might bring up the E. Jean Carroll case, completely debunked, completely false. They might bring up all the allegations of, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get censored by YouTube, but we all know Trump's sex life, his private life, have been under the microscope. Well, if that can be under scrutiny, hey, you can wake up. He was having a bad dream. But if that can be scrutinized, then so can Kamala Harris's sex life. Because not only was Willie Brown married when they had the affair, he is single-handedly responsible for her rise to politics, which means he's also responsible for her being one of the most unqualified candidates for president that we've ever had. There are a lot of issues there with that. Now, like I said, I hope Trump only brings it up if they bring up his sex life and his personal life. But I don't think it's going to sway any Kamala Harris voters away from her. I do think it'll swing independents. But Kamala Harris's supporters are strangely tethered to her. This was one of the most bizarre interviews I've ever seen, straight from California.
Look, I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. She could run over a child live on TV. I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. I'm never going to vote for Trump.
That's gnarly.
But the fact is, even though I think she'll make a good...
Yeah, and they say we're the ones with issues. They say we're the ones voting for someone without a moral compass. Yeah, I think it's all projection. That video speaks for itself. Now, yesterday I made a video talking about pets, cats, ducks, geese in Springfield, Ohio. Well, Trump is now, publishing a ton of memes with cats and ducks. And Eric Swalwell is really upset that not just Trump is doing this, but that Republican leaders are doing it. And Swalwell had a meltdown in the House.
What in the hell is this? The chairman tweets, protect our ducks and kittens in Ohio because he goes down some crazy rabbit hole, completely debunked that aliens are eating pets? My God, are you okay, Mr. Chairman? Because last year, for a very long time, you tweeted and promoted Kanye West as he was calling for genocide against the Jews, and you kept it up. And now, when we have victims coming here, you're tweeting this nonsense. I don't know why you would do this. I hope you're okay. I don't know if the aliens who are eating your ducks are in the room with us right now, but Mr. Chairman, this is a serious issue. These people have loved ones who have been lost.
Is Eric Swalwell about to be canceled? I thought no human was illegal. I thought you weren't supposed to say illegal immigrants, let alone illegal aliens, unless he thinks that we're talking about like spaceship aliens eating pets. Also, it's funny because he spent that time complaining not about the Haitian migrants, not about the humanitarian crisis of, people living in the streets, of people allegedly eating pets. There have been people commenting saying that this has been debunked by police and stuff like that. But the issue is this is coming from the residents of the town. Like, they are testifying, like, at the city council. Like, that was the video that I showed yesterday, that people in town are saying this. But he's more concerned about memes than he is about what's actually happening on the ground. Now, whether or not the Haitian migrants are eating pets isn't, that's not the only issue. I mean, they've literally killed children. They caused a school bus crash. They're causing car crashes, vehicle crashes on a near daily basis now. They are squatting on people's lands. They're using, the hospitals are at capacity now. I mean, it really is a humanitarian crisis. And Eric Swalwell is trying to score political points by talking about memes instead of talking about the crisis. And that right there, I think, is sort of a summation and a representation of where the Democrat Party is right now. They want, the image, they want the narrative, they want the social media points on their side, but they don't do anything to actually address the crisis. As always, all of this is my commentary and my analysis, and I would love to know yours in the comments below. What do you think about the debate podium? Is that a non-story, or is that potentially an indication of preferential treatment to come? Let me know your predictions about tonight's debate or your thoughts on any of these stories. If you haven't already, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask, but it really does help me in the algorithm to reach more viewers like you. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.